ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। 56th class today. And repeat. वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं वाग्यप्रदं गुरुम्
वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
साधनचतुष्टयसम्पन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। साधनचतुष्टयं किम्?
साधनचतुष्टयं किम्?
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः
इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः
इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः
शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः
संपत्तिः
मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति
मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति
सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्?
सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्?
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतम्
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतम्
कृतं सत्
कृतं सत्
कर्मजन्यं
कर्मजन्यं
कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादि भोगसाधनम्
सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनं
पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
पञ्चप्राणादयः
पञ्चप्राणादयः
मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका
मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका
एवं सप्तकलाभिः सह
एवं सप्तदशकलाभिः सह
यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्
यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्.
The last class I clarified some doubts regarding the Atma, the Sukshma Shariram. Now we will continue with the flow, the next topic, which is the Adhisthana Devata of the Indriyas. Sukshma Shariram has the 17 components. Panchagyani Indriyani, Karmendriyani, Pranadayaha, Manaha cha ekam, Buddhihi cha eka. Now what are those Panchagyani Indriyani? The student doesn't know. Therefore, the next question will be Jnanendriyani Kani. Jnanendriyani Kati Bhavanti. Pancha Jnanendriyani. Tani, you can repeat. Shrotram Tvaka Chakshu Rasana Granamiti Pancha Jnanendriyani.
श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुरसना रसनात् घ्राणमिति पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि
Now the next topic is the Adhisthana Devata of the Jnanendriyas. The knowledge of the Adhisthana Devata is important. The concept of Adhisthana Devata. Devata, Adhisthana Devata is presiding the deity. Each faculty is presided over by a Adhisthana Devata. There are many devatas. In the Shastram it is said there are many devatas, many gods. Does it mean that means we have Hinduism is polytheism? No. Many gods are there. And all these gods, they are representative of Bhagavan, Ishvara alone. We say Vayu Bhagavan, Agni Bhagavan, Varuna Bhagavan. All these are the different departments. Different departments are taken care by different gods, different devatas. But all these devatas are finally presided over by Bhagavan, Ishvara. And these devatas are also Ishvara only. They are not different. They are same only. Ishvara alone. Everything is Ishvara. The whole Jagat is looked upon as Bhagavan. The whole Jagat is nothing but Bhagavan alone. So these devatas, they are representative. Like the person who works for a company, he represents the company. He is a company. For the customers, he is the company. Whatever benefits or problem the customer faces. He complains to this employee, and the employee represents the company. Is not different from the company. Complaining or even congratulating the employee of the company is congratulating or passing the complaint to the company. So he is not different from the company. He represents the company, the management. The management is a company. Similarly, the devatas are the representative of Ishvara. They are not different from the Lord. Therefore, we have many devatas. Worshipping those devatas, the devotee will be blessed with what he asks for. And that also he gets from Ishvara alone. In whichever form the person, the devotee wants to praise the Lord, worship the Lord, he can worship. And that devata is not different from Ishvara, representative of the same Ishvara alone. That is why, in spite of many gods, it is not polytheism. Because the many gods are not really many gods. It is only one. In fact, there is only God. There is only Ishvara. There is nothing other than Ishvara. When there is nothing other than Ishvara, how can there be so many devatas? There are devatas, and these devatas are not different from Ishvara. So that is the vision of the Shastra. So therefore, here, since the human being enjoys all these faculty of the sense organs of perception, very important perception, because through that only he gains knowledge. For the knowledge to take place, these sense organs have to be functional. This sense organ should be endowed with the capacity to receive, to perceive the knowledge. From where it derives that capacity? The capacity, it should derive from the total. The individual has to receive the capacity from the total. So what is in the individual, it is in the total. The individual is Vyashti, the total is Samashti. So, therefore, since everything is looked upon as Bhagavan, therefore the faculty what we enjoy, it is also looked upon as Bhagavan, and there is an Adhisthana Devata presiding over it. That is the vision of the Shastram. So, therefore, here Pancha Jnanendriyas are there: Shrotram, Ruk, Chakshu, Rasana, Granam, Iti. These Pancha Jnanendriyas are born from the Pancha Bhuta: Akasha, Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi. From Akasha, Shrotrendriyani. From Vayu, Tok, that is skin, Tokindriyani. From Agni, Chakshu, that is eyes, Chakshurindriyani. Apaha means Jalam, water, Udakam. From the water element, Rasanendriyani. From the Prithvi, earth, Granendriyani. From each element, these sense organs of perception are born. From each element, these sense organs of perception are born. How it is and all, it will be the creation part of the topic we will see. Srishti Prakaranam is going to come later. There we will see. Now, here, this each Indriya, which are born from each element, And that element, each element has got Bhagavan. Akasha is space. Akasha. Therefore, there is a Devata corresponding to that. Dig Devata, directional deity. All the directions are looked upon as Devata. There are 10 directions. So, the Dig Devata, the Devata presiding over the direction. Why direction? Because from the directions only we hear, we perceive sound, Shabdam. Since Shrotrendriyani is born from Akasha, therefore the Devata presiding over the space, the Akasha, the direction, is a Devata for Shrotram. Similarly, the Togindriya, which is born from Vayu elements, Vayu is air. Togindriya is born from Vayu, and Vayu Devata is there. So Vayu Devata presides over the air, the wind, and that will be the Devata for Togindriya. Similarly, Chakshuhu, eyes. The eyes are born from the Agni element, important Pancha Bhuta, Agni, and the Lord presiding over the Agni, the Lord who is available Pratyaksha directly, is Surya Devata. Surya Devata is the Pratyaksha Devata representing Agni, which we can see with our eyes. Therefore, he is the Adhisthana Devata for Chakshurindriya, eyes. Similarly, the Rasana Indriya, the Indriya for recognizing the taste, which is born from Apaha, water. And who is the Devata of water? Varuna Devata. If you want rain, whom do we pray to? Varuna Bhagavan. Whether it is Ativrishti or Anavrishti, when there is too much rain or no rain, we pray to Varuna Devata, because he is the presiding deity of water. And Rasanendriya is born from water. Therefore, who is the presiding deity of Rasanendriya? Varuna Bhagavan. Similarly, Prithvi also. Prithvi, Granendriya is born from Prithvi, and the presiding Devata is Ashwini Devatas. So, therefore, each Jnanendriya which are born from each element, and each element are presided over by the Adhisthana Devata, and they become the Adhisthana Devata of the Indriya. These elements are there in the total, out of which only the whole Jagat is created. And from this element only all the Indriyas are created, which the individual enjoy. Therefore, what the individual enjoy, all these Indriyas are born from the elements. Out of the elements and the elementals only the whole Jagat is formed, the whole Prapancha. So that is the total. And this is the individual. So therefore, what the individual enjoys, they are not separate from the total. They are born from the total. So therefore, the Adhisthana Devata presiding over each Bhuta is the Adhisthana Devata of the corresponding the faculty which the individual enjoys. That is the idea. The beautiful vision of the Shastram. Therefore, Adhisthana Devata is the presiding deity, over the particular total faculty. The total faculty. And the Adhisthana Devata, when we say it is the Lord presiding over a particular total faculty. And the individual enjoys a faculty which are available in the total. Individual cannot enjoy which is not in the total. If one element is not there, one indriya will be missing in the individual. So, therefore, as an individual, whatever faculty we enjoy, it is a part of the total only, the samashti. And the samashti, the total faculty, it is presided over by the devata, adhisthana devata. So if this Shakti is not there in the total, then the individual will not be able to operate or enjoy the capacity of the particular faculty. Therefore only we should be grateful. Therefore only grateful to the devatas, appreciating the faculty and the cause of faculty. And the cause of faculty, appreciating in the form of bhakti, the devotion. That is bhakti. That is why we celebrate many functions for different devatas. For Varuna, there is a particular way of, there is a particular way of appreciating a particular celebration. A particular celebration for Varuna, particular celebration or particular way of appeasing the devata in the form of doing yajna, yaga, or in the form of chanting stotrams, etc. So, therefore, all the faculty what we enjoy, it is there in the total, and it is presented over by the individual faculty at the total level, presented over by Adhisthana Devata, and all the Adhisthana Devatas, ultimately it is presented over by Bhagavan, Ishvara. And these Adhisthana Devatas are not different from Ishvara. So, therefore, these Adhisthana Devatas being the representative of Bhagavan, and they only preside over the individual faculty, what the individual enjoy. Therefore, everything is Bhagavan. There is nothing other than Ishvara. So therefore, we need to know the Adhisthana Devata. The Adhisthana Devata presides over the particular total faculty, and Ishvara presides over the collective total faculty. Ishvara presides over the sum total of all the faculties. Therefore, Adhisthana Devata, who presides over a particular faculty, is a part of the Ishvara. When we say it's a part, it's not different from Ishvara. So therefore, whatever we enjoy, the faculties of perception, the faculty of the action, it is all because of the blessing of Ishvara. So you are connected to Ishvara all the time. There is no time you are not connected to Ishvara. Every time when you operate a faculty, every time when a particular organ, individual organ is managed, it is operated by the individual, one has to be aware of the blessing of the collective total faculty, which is Ishvara. So you are connected to Ishvara all the time through these devatas. Then your ears can hear the sound. Shrotrendriya can hear the shabda. We have to be thankful to the devata, the particular devata, Adhisthana devata, who is not different from Ishvara. The particular devata is Dig Devata. It is going to come the next line. You can read that. So that Dig Devata is Ishvara alone. So similarly, the other Indriyas also. Other Indriyas, they are functional, they operate because of the blessing of the corresponding Devata, and they are all Ishvara alone. So therefore, you are connected to Ishvara through the Devatas all the time. And every time when you operate through the sense organs, you have to be grateful to the Lord. That is bhakti. Appreciating the all pervading, the all knowledge, Ishvara, all the time. That is bhakti. That is called bhakti. Minus Ishvara, the individual cannot be really an individual. Without these sense organs of perception or action, what knowledge or what action can individual perform? It is all the blessings of Ishvara. But what the individual claims? He claims it is because of me, that ahankara is there. That as though it is because of oneself, because of myself, that ahankara is the problem. That the notion of I, that ahankara. Once you appreciate everything is Ishvara, then this then you will become more and more submissive. You will appreciate Ishvara in every perception. In every perception, Ishvara is there. In every perception has got three things. One is the perceiver, other one is perceived, and the perception. All the three things are Ishvara. When everything is Ishvara, then you will become more and more submissive and you appreciate Bhagavan in every perception you will appreciate Bhagavan. That is bhakti. That is real bhakti. And Shankara Bhagavad in Viveka Chudamani, he says, what is bhakti? Swaswarupanusandanam bhakti. That is, here bhakti, para bhakti. Okay. So, therefore, the concept of Adhisthana Devata is very important, and the author introduces here in keeping with what is going to be discussed later. Later, we are going to discuss on the topic Ishvara. So, therefore, we need to have some idea about Adhisthana Devata. Therefore, the author introduces. We will read the next line. Shrotrasya Dig Devata.
Srotrasya Digdevata
Vacho Vayuhu.
Tvacho Vayuhu
Chakshushaha Suryaha.
Chakshushaha Suryaha
Rasanayaha Varunaha.
Rasanayaha Varunaha
Granasya Ashvinau.
Granasya Ashvinau
Iti Jnanendriya Devataha.
Iti
Iti
Jnanendriya
Jnanendriya
Shrotrasya Dig Devata. Dig means direction. Devata, the deity presiding over the direction, is a deity of Shrotrendriya. Shrotra stands for Shabda, the sound. Sound travels through space. Therefore, the Devata corresponding to the space is Dig Devata, direction. So, Dig Devata is the Devata, the presiding deity of the direction, which stands for sound, and therefore Shrotrasya Dig Devata. For the Shrotrendriya, for the ears, which picks up sound, because the sound travels through space, therefore directional deities. Dig Devata is the Devata of Shrotrendriya. And Dig Devata is not separate from Ishvara, is an aspect of Ishvara. So Dig Devata. Similarly, Tvacho Vayuhu, Tvagindriya. For Tvagindriya, the Devata is Vayu Devata. Chakshushaha Suryaha. Chakshushaha is eyes. Eyes picks up forms and shape. Eyes picks up form and shape. And Surya stands for Agni. Agni is the element. Agni is the element which has got the form. From the first is Shabda. Shabda doesn't have form. Vayu doesn't have form. So the first element where the form, the form starts, that is Murta Bhuta. The Panchabhutas can be classified into two. Murta Panchabhuta, Amurta Panchabhuta. Amurta Panchabhuta means formless Panchabhuta. Murta Panchabhuta is that which have form. Shabda and this Shabda and this direction, this Akasha and Vayu, they don't have form. Whereas Agnihi, Apaha and Prithvi, they have forms. So the first element from where this property, that is the form, the perception of form, the shape starts is Agni. So, and eyes can perceive the form. Eyes stands for the vision. It stands for the vision. Through the eyes you can see the form, you can see the color. And Agni has got a form, Agni has got color. So Agni is a Devata, Surya Devata. The Pratyaksha Devata, what we see is Surya Bhagavan. Therefore, Surya Devata is the Adhisthana Devata. Because of the blessings of Surya Devata, only the eyes can pick up form, shape, etc. Similarly, Rasana, Rasanayaha, Varunaha. Varuna Devata is the Devata of Rasana. Rasana is the tongue. The tongue picks up the taste. Taste is because of the water. And who presides over the water? Apaha, Varuna Devata. So Varuna Devata. Granasya Ashvinau. Granasya. Grana, smell. Smell is a property of Prithvi. And the Devata corresponding to, therefore the Devata corresponding to the Indriya, that is Grana Indriya, is Ashvinau, Ashwini Devatas, Ashwini Kumara. These are twin Devatas. Ashvinau. Granasya Ashvinau. Pratama Vibhakti Dvivachanam. Ashvinau. It is twin Devatas. So, therefore, each Jnanendriyas are presided over by the Adhisthana Devata, and therefore only we are connected to Ishvara all the time. You cannot say that you don't know or you don't recognize Ishvara, you cannot say. You can never be away from the recognition of Ishvara. Every time when you perceive the objects operating through the sense organs, Ishvara is there. Ishvara is there. The perception is the recognition of Ishvara. Ishvara is recognized through all these perceptions. Therefore, one is always with Ishvara, not ever away from Ishvara. And Ishvara is a Srishtikarta, is the creator of this Nama Rupatmakam Jagat, the Jagat which has got Nama and Rupa, name and form. This Nama Rupatmakam Jagat, Jagataha Srishtikarta, Ishvaraha, and Ishvara is Sarvajnaha because he is a Srishti Karta of this whole Prapancha. Therefore, he must be all knowledge. He must have knowledge of everything. He must be all knowing. And this Jagat, which is Srishtam, which is created, it is not separate from Ishvara. If it is separate from Ishvara, then you cannot say everything is Ishvara. If you say it is different, then Ishvara must be different from the Jagat. If Ishvara is different from Jagat, then we don't need to have the concept of Adhisthana Devata. Ishvara is in the form of the Jagat. This Jagat, for this Jagat, Ishvara is the Upadana Karan. Ishvara is the Upadana Karan, material cause. Ishvara is the Nimitta Karan also, is the efficient cause. He is the creator and the material for creation also himself. Therefore, only this Jagat is Bhagavan, Ishvara. Then only we can say it is Ishvara. Ishvara being both Nimitta Karanam as well as Upadana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam means the maker. For every object, two things are required. One is the maker, other one is the material. A pot is made, we need a pot maker, maker of the pot. Why pot maker? Without pot maker, you cannot make the pot. Because the pot maker has a knowledge, has the know-how of how to make a pot. And for pot, you need clay. The material is required. Now, for creating a pot, you need these two things. One is pot maker is required and the material for making the pot is required. The pot maker is Nimitta Karanam and the material, the clay, is the Upadana Karanam. These two Karanams, generally, they are different. Generally, they are different. The clay is not with the pot maker. The clay is away, is separate from the pot maker. So with the clay, the pot maker makes a pot. Whereas for creating this Jagat, there are no two Karanam. Ishvara is the maker and the material also himself. The material, he doesn't have to borrow from outside. If he has to borrow the material from outside, then Ishvara must be away from the material, then it becomes problem. Who created the material which is separate from Ishvara? That question will come. If the material is already available for Ishvara to create a Jagat, then the material must be available before. Then who created that material? If it is created by another Ishvara, if you say, then who created that Ishvara? That Ishvara, if it is available before that, then that corresponding to that Ishvara, the material must be available to create this material. So it will go on and on like that. Therefore, Ishvara is both the material and the maker. Like what? Like the Upanishad gives an example. Urna Nabaha, the spider. The spider creates the spider web. For creating the spider web, material is required and the knowledge for making that spider web, knowledge for making the web is required, which is with the maker. Who is a maker? The spider is a maker. From where did they get the material? The material it did not borrow from outside. It is from itself only. It secretes a material. It secretes the web, a thin thread, out of which it creates this web. Therefore, for the web, who is the maker? The spider, Urna Nabaha. Material, that is also spider only. So, for the web, the Nimitta Karanam as well as the Upadana Karanam is the very spider. Similarly, this example is much convincing to understand how can the Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam be the same thing like the spider. A beautiful example. Shastram presents this example. No examples are perfect. The examples only to appreciate that Ishvara is both the maker as well as the material. Nimitta Karanam as well as Upadana Karanam. Therefore, only everything is Ishvara. Therefore, everything is Ishvara. Every form, and the form has got a name, that is Ishvara. The whole Jagat, which has got a form, and the objects of the Jagat has got a form and it has got a name. So this Nama Rupa Jagat, it is not different from Ishvara. It is a manifestation of the knowledge of Ishvara. So what you appreciate is the knowledge of the Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara is Sarvagya, all knowledge. It is all knowledge. Ishvara is knowledge. Jnana Swarupaha, Ishvaraha. And when we say all knowledge, we can understand the all knowledge in terms of the various order what you see in the Jagat. There is an order. There is a physical order. There is a physiological order. Within the Shariram, physiological, psychological order. There is a order of karma. There is an order of dharma. There is an order. There is an order, and that order, when we say order, therefore, when we say order, there must be a knowledge presiding over that. There must be knowledge corresponding or associated with that order. Without knowledge, there is no order. For the order, knowledge must be there. The knowledge is associated with the person, and the person is all knowledge. So, Bhagavan, in the form of various order, is pervading the entire Jagat. As an individual, there is an order. All the bodies, they function. My body function in a particular order, and your body function in a particular order. It is not like that. Every body function in the same order. Everybody's heart function in the same order. There's an order. If my art functions in a particular order and your art functions in a particular order, then there will not be the department of medicine. Medicine itself will not be there. For each person, there has to be a hospital. Because there is an orderly function of the heart, orderly function of the lung. Every organ of the body functions in a particular order at the individual, similarly at the total. And the total order is nothing but is the manifestation of the all knowledge of Ishvara. Therefore, each total faculty of the Adhisthana Devata is functioning in keeping with this order. Therefore, only every aspect of the given order is Adhisthana Devata, becomes Adhisthana Devata. The individual body, mind, sense complex also functions within this order, and therefore there is a connection. There is a connection between the functioning of the individual faculty and the Adhisthana Devata. Therefore, from the standpoint of the total eyes, Ishvara becomes the Surya Devata, blessing all our eyes to enjoy the power of perception, seeing perception. And this is well within the order. So everything is manifestation of one Ishvara alone, who is in the form of various devatas and various order. Therefore, the same Ishvara, when looked from different standpoint or from a given standpoint, is called Devata. From the standpoint of Shrotra is called Dig Devata. From the standpoint of Vayu, from the standpoint of Tuk is called Vayu Devata. From the standpoint of I is Surya Devata. Similarly, Varuna Devata, Ashvinam Iti. All these are Devatas. So, Therefore, everything being Ishvara, therefore, all these devatas are also Ishvara only. This is the vision. This is the vision of the Shastra. When we say there are so many devatas, we should not understand there are so many gods out there. In fact, there is only God. The God alone is in the form of this Jagat. The Jagat has got an order. Yep, yeah, order. Within that order, it functions. There is no disorder in the Jagat. Because order is there, therefore there must be knowledge associated with that. And that knowledge is Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara is called Sarvajnaha, all-knowing. This is the division of the Shastra. And also, the Tatparyam of the Shastram, it is recognizing the oneness of Jiva, that is the Vyashti, and Ishvara, the total. That is the Tatparya. There is no difference from the individual and the total. What is in the individual, it is there in the total. There is no difference. Only there is a difference in terms of Nama Rupa. Jiva has got the Upadhi, Sharira Upadhi. Ishvara has got the Jagat as its Upadhi, the total Upadhi. The sum total of all the Jivas and all the objects put together is the Upadhi of Ishvara. The individual has got the Shariram as the Upadhi. And what is the Upadhi, the Shariram of Ishvara? The Jagat is the Upadhi. Through the Jagat, the Ishvara manifests. Through this Shariram, the individual is manifest. Therefore, this Upadhi, it is just a name and a form. This is just a name and form, which is Mithya. Already we have seen, which is Mithya. Therefore, this individual and the total, are they different or same? They are same. What they are essentially same. The same Atma, the consciousness. From the standpoint of consciousness, there is no difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Upaditaha Vedaha Asti. But from the standpoint of the consciousness, there is no difference between the individual and the total, Jiva and Ishvara. Therefore, there is a need to discuss about the Vyashti as well as Samashti. That is why here in this section, the Vyashti Jiva is discussed. Therefore, the topic is Jiva. All these discussions come under the topic of Jiva. Pancha Jnanendriyani Karmendriya, where who has this? The Jiva has this. The individual has this. Therefore, since this individual it forms a part of this total, the Samashti, since the Samashti includes this Vyashti, therefore, the Vyashti Jiva is discussed. And all the faculties enjoyed by the Jivas, it is discussed. And the Upadhi of Jiva is discussed. But what is the nature of the Jiva? It is Atma. That already we saw. Sukshma, Stula Sukshma Karna Sharirat Vitiriktaha Avastha Sakshi iti. What Atma Kaha we saw. Therefore only Jiva Atma, Jivatma. Therefore only Jivatma. This Jiva who enjoys all this Shariram, they are called Upadhi. Through this Upadhi, the Jiva manifest, and the Jiva is that Atma, Jivatma, who is not different from Ishvara, is Paramatma. Jivatma Paramatma Yogo. Jivatma Paramatma Yogo, Vedaha Nasti. There is no Veda, there is no difference. That is the Tatparyam of the Shastram. So in keeping in mind the Tatparyam of the Shastram only, there is a discussion about this Adhisthana Devata. Adhisthana Devata, who presides over the individual faculty, and the Adhisthana Devata represents the total. Therefore, there is a connection. There's a connection there's a connection in discussing the Adhisthana Devata. Shastram as the vision. In keeping with the vision, the Shastram presents the topic. Therefore, this topic of Adhisthana Devata is important. Is important to appreciate all pervading this the order, the order which presides over the Jagat, Ishvara. Ishvara is the order. Therefore, to appreciate that, we need to have this knowledge of Adhisthana Devata. Now, all these Indriyas are there, but Shastram doesn't take for granted. It also gives a function of these Indriyas. The Shishya, the disciple, doesn't know the function. We have to assume. The student doesn't know what are the functions of these Indriyas. Jnanendriya, Karmendriya. What does it do? He doesn't know. Indriyani, Karyani, Kani. Indriyani, Karyani. What does it do? The student doesn't know. Therefore, the next line presents the Karya, that is the operation of this Indriyas, the sense organs. The student asks, what do these Indriyas do? Indriyani, Karyani, Kani. Question is not that, you have to supply. Therefore, the Acharya, next line, he says, what do these Indriyas do? We will read that. Shrotrasya Vishayaha Shabda Grahanam.
श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणम्
ग्रहणम्
Vacho Vishayaha Sparsha Grahanam.
वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणम्
Chakshusho Vishayaha Rupa Grahanam.
चक्षुषो विषयो रूपग्रहणम्
Rasanayaha Vishayaha Rasa Grahanam.
रसनायाः
विषयः
रसग्रहणम्
रसग्रहणम्
Granasya Vishayaha Gandha Grahanam iti.
घ्राणस्य विषयः
गन्धग्रहणम् इति
ग्रहणम् इति.
So, 5 sense organs, Pancha Jnanendriyani, and each Jnanendriyam has its Vishaya, the object. The object of each Indriya has got the object of perception as its own Vishaya, the object that the Indriya can grasp. They are called Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandhaha. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandhaha. The objects of perception of Indriyas are Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandhaha. The word, this phrase, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandhaha, also stands for Pancha Bhuta. So when we use the word Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha means Pancha Bhuta. In many places we use like that. Because Shabda stands for Akasha, Sparsha stands for Vayu, Rupa stands for Agni, Rasa stands for water, Gandha stands for Prithvi. So, instead of saying Akasha Vayu, Agni Apaha Prithvi, we just simply say Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandhaha. So, it stands for the Panchabhuta. Also, it can stand for the Indriyas also. Why? Because Shabda, the sound, Shabda Grahanam, the perception, Grahana means perception, reception, experiencing, the cognition of sound, Shabda Grahanam, that is a Vishaya. That is a Vishaya, that is the object of operation, that is a field of operation for what? Shrotrasya, for the ears. So the perception of sound is the perception of sound. It is the Shrotrendriya Vishaya. So what is the What is the function of ear? The function of ear, the Shrotram is cognition of sound, perception of sound. So, therefore, Shrotrasya Vishaya Shabda Grahanam. Therefore, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha can also stand for Indriyas, Jnanendriyani. So, it depends on the context, we have to take the meaning of this phrase, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, to be the Panchabhuta, Panchamahabhuta, or the Indriyas. And here, the Vishaya Grahanam, the objects of cognition of the Indriyas are given. Shrotrasya Shashti Vibhakti. Shrotrasya Vishayaha, the object of perception of Shrotram is grasping or cognition of Shabda, the sound. Tvacho Vishayaha Sparsha Grahanam. Tvachaha Vishayaha. If you do Sandhi, Tvachaha Vishayaha. Tvachaha is Shashti Vibhakti. Vishayaha, the object. The object of perception of Tvak, the skin, is Sparsha Gaganam. The function of the skin is the cognition of touch. And where does it lie? It is spread all over the body. It is spread all over the body. That is why even if there is a small pain anywhere, any part of the body, you can feel it. So therefore, the perception of cold, hot, shita, ushna, or even if it is hard or soft, that can be perceived through the skin. So, for any perception, for the perception of cold, heat, you can use only Tukindriya. You cannot use the other Indriya. If it is cold or hot, how do you know? You have to touch. That sparsha is involved. Therefore, Togindriya. Therefore, the object of perception, the field of operation of the Tuk is this cognition of touch. Chakshushaha Vishayaha Rupa Graganam. Chakshusho is that it is Sandhi. Sandhi has happened. Chakshushaha, that is Shashti Vibhakti. Chakshus. The Shabda, Sakaranta Shabda. The Vishaya of Chakshus, the object of perception of the Chakshus, that is eyes, is Rupa Grahana. The cognition of Rupa, forms. Forms also stands for colors. Color can be perceived only by the eyes. Rupam can be perceived only by the eyes. You cannot perceive the Rupam by any other indriya. Rupam you can guess by touching you can, but for color you need to have eyes. There is no other way of knowing the color other than eyes. Therefore, Rupa can mean colors as well as the forms. Agni has got color. Agni Devata. Agni has got form. That is why Surya Devata is the Adhisthana Devata. The next one, Rasanayaha Vishayaha Rasagraganam. Rasanayaha, that Visarga is not there. Doesn't mean it is by mistake it is not given. It is not a typo. Visarga is dropped, elided. Visarga is there, but it is not seen because of Sandhi. That we have to see. Visarga Sandhi. So Rasanayaha Vishayaha. But you can read Rasanaya Vishayaha, you can also read. No problem reading that. Rasanaya Vishayaha Rasagrahanam. When you say Rasanaya, don't think it is Tritiya Vibhakti. It is Shashti Vibhakti. Like what Shabda? Rama Shabda. Ramayaha. Shashti Vibhakti. Rasana is a Pratipadikam. Akaranta Strilinga. Rasanayaha Vishayaha. The object of perception of tongue is taste. The cognition of taste is the Vishaya of Rasanendriya. And tongue has got also one more function. What is that? Speech. Vak also it is there. Vak also it is. That Vak Indriya, as Vak, it is Karmendriya. That will come under Karmendriya. The function of the tongue in terms of its speech will come under Karmendriya. But here it is only Rasanendriya because it is this Rasana, Devata is Varuna, Varuna is water, water stands for taste. Therefore, Rasanendriya, here Rasanaya, Vishayaha, we have to take it as taste. Rasaha. Rasaha means taste. Rasaha means juice. Rasaha means juice. Rasagrhanam means juice stands for taste. Here, Rasanendriya, it means the tongue which is meant for taste. Which is meant for taste. As a Jnanendriya, it is meant for taste. As a Karmendriya, as a speech organ, it is the presence as a Karmendriya. As a Karmendriya, it stands for speech. That will come later. If it stands for speech, then who is the Adhisthana Devata? Saraswati is the Adhisthana Devata. The same tongue, when it stands for Karmendriya as speech, the Adhisthana Devata is Saraswati. Saraswati, she resides in the tongue. Her Vasasthalam is tongue. Therefore, one has to be very careful in using the tongue. Should not utter any bad words, abusive words. Saraswati, because it is her place. It is a place where she resides. So one is not supposed to spoil the residence of Saraswati. So as a speech organ, the Adhisthana Devata of Rasanendriya is Saraswati. As a taste organ, the Adhisthana Devata of Rasanendriya is Varuna. So here, since we are discussing about Jnanendriya, therefore Rasana means taste, which is the Vishaya of Rasanendriya. The next one is Granasya. Granasya Vishayaha. Granasya. Grana is a Pratipadikam. Shakti Bhakti Granasya. Vishayaha. The object. The object of Granendriya. The object of perception of Granendriya is Gandha Graghanam. Gandha Graghanam. Gandha is smell. Gandha Graghanam. So Granendriya is this nose. Is it only the perception of the function of nose is only the perception of smell? Does it do any other action? Nose also meant for breathing. Breathing also is the function of the nose. Nose does many action. But as a Jnanendriya, its action is this cognition of smell. Therefore, all these Indriyas have got the respective functions as the organs of perception, as the organ of perception of things, and therefore gaining knowledge. The knowledge of the objects are gained through this Jnanendriya. Each Jnanendriya is meant for the perception of particular object, for particular cognition. When all this cognition, different cognition, through these different cognitions, only the knowledge of the objects of the Jagat is gained. Minus one cognition, one knowledge will be missing. So, and the whole Jagat is made up of the 5 elements, and we are endowed with 5 sense organs, which are made from 5 elements. Therefore, there is an interaction between the sense organ and the Panchabhuta, out of which the whole Jagat is created. Therefore, only we say this Pancha Bhutatmakam Jagat, it is available for perception, for knowing through this Pancha Jnanendriya. Through this Pancha Jnanendriya. So each Jnanendriya meant for perceiving the specific property, therefore specific knowledge of the objects out of which this Jagat is created. And every object must have this property, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Either all or 4 or 3 or 2 or at least one property must be there. Therefore only we recognize the objects. Therefore only the perception of objects are possible. So therefore through this Pancha Jnanendriya we perceive, we gain knowledge. The knowledge possibilities because of this Pancha Jnanendriya. And through Karmendriya, what do we do? The knowledge is gained through Jnanendriya, and through Karmendriya, we respond to the knowledge. We respond to the knowledge in terms of action, in terms of doing. Response in terms of doing. That is going to be the next topic. What are the Pancha Karmendriya and what are its function? That is the topic that we will see. We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
Dhanyawad ji. I have a doubt. Shall I ask now? This Granasya Ashwino, how they are connected? I don't know. Ashwini Kumaras, who are they and how they are connected for this?
How they are connected?